Everybody's got a price for the $1 Million Man.
Who's that kid? Nick. He looks like Beaker from Muppets.
The one on FS1, Nick Wright. Yep.
Yeah. I got something.
That's
for
amazing.
him.
I did not even. I love that.
If I get 5 women and they're all in the same room with me, we're going at it at 110%.
What's going on, everybody? It's the Lazy Booking Podcast live on A2D Radio. Tuesday night, niche night. Programming alert. There is no Flyers Talk A2D tonight. So, we're your only option of the evening. I'm Chrome, joined as always by my buddy, my pal, my co-host, my amigo, Mr. Eric Archer. What's up, brother?
What's happening, pal? Got any life-altering events you got to talk about? Anything happen?
Yeah, man.
Not a lot going on with you, right?
No, yeah.
Not a ton.
Just a little engagement. Got engaged this weekend in New York at Central Park. It was pretty awesome.
Congratulations, my man.
Thank you, brother. Thank you. Great
club.
gal. Yeah. End of an era. Great gal. It's a great gal, man. I'm excited. Big things happen in the future. So, shout out to Christina. I love her, and I'm excited for that. It's gonna be
a SummerSlam 91 wedding, right?
That's it.
Will you marry me?
Christina, will you marry me?
Elizabeth.
On our Facebook post too, there were so many getting Savage Elizabeth vibes comments. I told her, "Babe, this is what you get when you get beautiful wrestling, Mark. Here we go." Yep. I mean, we did Macho King and Queen Sherry last Halloween. So
it's awesome.
Yeah, it was awesome. And that was her first Halloween with me, and I got her to do that. She didn't even fight me on it. So that's a keeper right there.
Keeper, that's right.
Welcome in again, everybody. Aside from that, not too much going on. We're here to talk some WWE with you here. First and foremost, we got to show some love to our doctor, Dr. Paul Vidal at Specialized Physical Therapy, physical locations in Burlington and Cherry Hill, New Jersey. You can find him on the web, specializedphysicaltherapy.com. Any long-lasting pains, any physical issues, anything brand new that's come up, contact him and his award-winning team. They'll take a look at you. They'll get you in there, and they'll get you set up on a program to get you back feeling your most physical peakness. Specialized Physical Therapy. Welcome. Eric, not a very active week coming out of the Royal Rumble. So we decided this week, let's take the opening topic a little bit of a different direction, right? I mean, we're going to talk current, right? Because we're going to talk about the one main event that we are sure of, but we want to compare it up to its potential for all-time lastingness, right? All-time lore, if you will. So our opening topic, brought to you by our doctor, Dr. Paul Vidal, is CM Punk versus Roman Reigns has the potential to be a top 10 all-time WWE WrestleMania main event. Agree or disagree, wherever you're at, Facebook, YouTube, X, Twitter, comment in, give us a like, give us a share, give us a follow, subscribe, whatever it is. Most importantly, join our conversation. We want to know your thoughts on this and everything else that we're going to talk about tonight, which you'll see scrolling right across this bottom line here. We're going to talk about Bron Breakker and the injury, which seems to be devastating at this point. Who's the masked attacker? Excuse me. Who is the masked attacker? As well as the men's elimination chamber qualifying matchups so far. We're going to recap them and talk about the upcoming ones. And also, let's just get out of the way real quick now. That Javon Evans OG cutter, holy crap. That kid is special. And I am so excited to see what he's going to. This is just scratching the surface, and he's already making all-time moments. Eric, your thoughts on that real quick before we dive into our main topic.
What else can I say? I don't think there's anybody in the business besides him that can perform that. And hats off to one of the Grande America. I forget which one it was, but hats off to him with the timing, because the timing.
I think it was Tyler Bate.
Yeah, so the timing has to be perfect on that, right? So it takes two to tango, but props to Javon for pulling that off. But the timing just has to be impeccable on both ends. But yeah, just incredible, and looking forward to seeing what else we get in the upcoming months.
Yeah, and listen, we've seen it too, the difficulty level. For a guy like Orton, he's, for the most part, like 98% of the time, nailed the timing of one of those kind of big epic moments, but there's times where it doesn't. And we've seen Cody try to do the Cody cutter. What was the thing with him and Carmelo when Carmelo first came up? They did something with a springboard, and I think he went for the Cody cut or whatever happened. Their timing was off. It is, and Cody is as professional as it gets. And so you could see the difficulty level, and I mean that was wasn't like he caught him at the bottom part of it, at the tail end. I mean, he caught him at the right moment, at the exact right time, and there was no fumbling to get your arm. I mean, it was a perfect. But both of them, him and Tyler Bate. Tremendous job, boys. That was a moment.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that'll live on. But let's dive into our opening topic, Eric. So we came up with lists, and this is where we wanted to have a little fun with it. I actually came up with a top 15. I think Eric came up with a 10 to 15 as well of WrestleMania main events. We're going to give our lists. I don't know if you ranked yours. I did rank mine.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, mine are ranked.
These are our ranked lists, which maybe we'll release closer to WrestleMania as well as some piece of an online content or something to see what people's thoughts are. But we ranked them, and then we want to see, could this fit in somewhere? Do we have belief that, what, this is my 15, but I think it could fit in at 9? Because if I think it's better than the 9, it could be better than the 9 match. Obviously, I think it's going to be better than everything under it, right? So that's the game we're going to play. You want to go first? You want me to go second? Or do you want to go second?
So are we doing, we're going to do the list.
So we're going to give our lists. And then after you give your list, explain if you think it can, or give your agree or disagree if you believe. And if you do believe, like if you agree with it, where are you fitting it in at?
Okay.
Or how many did you do? 10 or 15?
I got 15.
Okay. So even if you disagree, but you think it could fit into the 15, explain that as well. Maybe you think it fits into 12. But it's an early ranking, guys. We understand a lot of things come into play. The one benefit we have with the list is we have, for the foresight, and we can obviously look back and say, okay, in hindsight, we know what it came. But this is the fun of it. Where do we anticipate this falling in? Eric, let's kick it off. Give us your list of 15 ranked, and start from 15 and work your way up to your number 1.
Yeah, I'll just say, full disclosure, this was a very tough list. You think it's so easy to come up with 10 or 15 matches from 42 WrestleManias. It's not. And then you have some double main events. You got some night 1 and night 2 over the last few years. So not as easy a list as I thought it was going to be. All right. So coming in at number 15, we have WrestleMania 24, Undertaker versus Edge. Number 14, we have WrestleMania 23, Shawn Michaels versus John Cena. We have number 13, we have the triple threat from WrestleMania 20, the one that we're not allowed, well, we're allowed to talk about, but they're not. So, but
listen, it's on my list. It would be so much higher if I felt like, and it's not because of like a societal pressure or anything. I can't. To me, it's not watchable anymore. Not the way that it was. I have seen it since then once, but it doesn't have. You can't control what was the uncontrollable, and because of that,
right,
everything's in hindsight, right? I can't.
Yeah,
I just can't look at fondly as I did, and that's a shame for honestly for guys like Triple H and HBK because they were awesome in that match with Benoit.
Yeah, and unfortunately, it had a great story to it. the story of Benoit, and it kind of it now falls flat due to those circumstances.
Would have been a top 5 match for me.
Yeah,
I struggled. I started with it high, and then I just kept pumping it down and pumping it down. And
That's exactly what I did. All right, so that's number 13. Number 12 is Cody finishing his story at WrestleMania 40 versus Roman Reigns. Number 11, WrestleMania 28, the first Rock and John Cena match, which I don't think is talked about it enough. I think I think that match was very good. The last what was the catch line? The last time is now, or not last time is now. It was kind of something corny that wound up not happening because it happened the following year.
Once in a lifetime.
Yeah, there you go. Once in a lifetime, which happened to not be the case. Number 10, Austin Rock won at WrestleMania 15. Number 9, the first women's main event, Becky Lynch, Ronda Rousey, and Charlotte Flair. I think because it was the first, and it was a good match. I mean, the ending was kind of messed up a bit, but still, I don't think it takes away from the match at all. I think it was really, really special. Number 8, WrestleMania 38, Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar for the undisputed WWE Championship. Number 7, WrestleMania 3, Hulk and Andre, for obvious reasons. Number 6, WrestleMania 31, because of the heist of the century. Number 5, it's another match I don't think is talked about enough. I think a lot of people talk about 40. I think 39 was fantastic. Roman Cody won. And I think everybody, including myself, thought Cody was winning the match and how that all ended. And it kind of, it just, I think that match is better than now 40 is special because of the ending. And I think that was amazing. But I think 39 just has an amazing story to it. Number 4, WrestleMania 14, Stone Cold versus Shawn Michaels, beginning of the Austin era. Number 3, WrestleMania 26, Shawn Michaels versus Undertaker, streak versus career. That's enough said there. That could easily be number 1. I mean, the 3, that my top 3 could easily be interchangeable. This is number 2, WrestleMania 30, Daniel Bryan finish on the Miracle on Bourbon Street, gets the win over Triple H, gets added to the triple threat, and wins the title. And the place goes apeshit. And number 1, WrestleMania 17, Austin versus Rock. Now, of course, the end result was not what I don't think anybody had planned for. But I just remember that crowd at the Astrodome. They just ate up everything. They were still cheering Austin with McMahon and Austin shaking hands. I think that match, it also marks basically the end of the Attitude Era. So I think for me, on a personal level, that match really means a lot in that part. Now, of course, and it was a great match. A lot of false finishes and Rock getting his butt whipped, and those chair shots were just incredible. But yeah, that's my list. I'm curious to see what yours looks like.
Our lists are definitely very different.
Okay.
There are some similarities where some things are close by, some things that are on way opposite ends of the list.
Okay.
And some things that aren't even included on my list. But I understand why they would be on your list. So I'm not like there's nothing on your list that I'm like, this is egregious.
It's challenging because there are things that could easily be in the top 15. Like I think Brett Yoko was very underrated. Both of them, 9 and 10. They could easily be.
I thought 10 was terrible.
I think the story of 10 over the match quality, because it was kind of like his losing the first match, coming back and winning that match. I think the match was not good, but I think the story was very good.
I felt like 10 was killed right away for me. I don't think WrestleMania 10 is a good WrestleMania at all.
Not even the first match.
I like the opening match. The opening match is great. The latter match are great.
Everything else stunk.
Even Savage Crush.
Yeah.
It was underwhelming. It's Savage's last WrestleMania, so that's like important. But like the Luger, the coin toss, and the double, it was so terribly overbooked. I can't. I'm with you on 9. I think 9 was very good. I think the execution of 9 was good, and I'm in the minority of. I loved the finish, the first heist of the century, which was Hogan swooping in and doing business, brother. It's all business, brother. Nothing personal.
Sorry, Brett.
I don't hate your list. We're gonna definitely have some, which is great. That's why we do this, right? It opens up the conversation. Real quick, we did have a couple comments. Divine chiming in. What's going on? Don, our guy. What's up, brother? Pistons are rolling right now.
Yeah, that big. They belong in WWE after that fight last night.
Rosca saying it's all about the. Yeah, I know. Rosca saying it's all about the Rams, except it's not, because the Seahawks are the champions. Dynasty said disagree to the poll. It has the potential to be a top 10 build, but I just don't see it being a top 10 match. Fair. I think it could. Dynasty says, as great as it was, 25 is still better, but to be fair, it didn't make him. Yes, and that's a key factor in this. I can tell you right now, if WrestleMania 25, Undertaker and Shawn Michaels was on the table, that would have been my number one. I think it's the greatest WrestleMania match of all time. Savage and Steamboat would be on that list, but they didn't main event, right? But 26 was tremendous, and I'm going to explain why I have 26 on my list and where I do as well. But all right, Eric. So we got you there.
You got me. Okay. Yeah, we're good. Now, I was going to say another one that I love, and you know how I love 8. I love Randy Savage, Ric Flair. It was a double main event, but it wasn't the last match.
I felt like that was like the exception because it was billed as a double main event and they didn't do a 2-night thing. You could have thrown it in there. I personally didn't. I still didn't see it that way because I would have put it on there. I think it's just on the outskirts of my 15, maybe 16 or 17. All-time match, though, for WrestleMania, for sure. But you are right. That could have been on that list, I think. So in regards to the poll, do you agree or disagree that this has the potential to slip into your top 10?
I think I'm with Dynasty that it can be. It absolutely can be. If we get anything like the promo last week and that stuff continues and builds up and the match itself, they just beat the living hell out of each other, I think that would go over better than a regular wrestling match.
Mm-hmm.
Just looking at my list, I don't think it could touch Hulk Andre or a Seth cash-in. I mean, I could see it maybe in the lower 10 and the 15, maybe. But I do think that if they continue to build off of what they did last week, and real quick, these people that expected Roman to be here every week, and I said it last week, you're not going to see him until after Chamber. Like, that was obvious. Mm-hmm. So shut up and enjoy the ride, because it's gonna be good TV leading up to WrestleMania, and it'll be great. But anyway, I think it can be in the top 15. I don't know, and maybe 10, like at the end of 10. So I'm gonna disagree to the poll. but I do think it has the potential to be one of the better matches over the last. I mean, I don't see it. I just don't see it being better than Roman Cody. I just don't.
So, do you have it as something that could break your 15 list, or do you not think even that?
It can. It can.
So where would you slide it in on your list? In between what two matches would you slide it between?
I'd probably put it. Probably putting it at the very bottom of the fifth, like 14 or 15.
So remind me again, what did you have at?
So
Give us what you had at 13, 14, 15 again.
So 13, I had WrestleMania 20. 14, I had 23. I'd probably put it at right at 15. I'd take it over Taker and Edge.
Okay. I definitely think it's going to be more, I guess, monumental in the long term than that. In fairness, I know that was a great match, but when I went through the list of like true main events for WrestleMania, I completely forgot about that match. So like for me, obviously, spoiler alert, it's not going to be on my list. But I don't think that's a bad spot. I mean, top 15 is not bad, right?
No. Over 42 WrestleManias
and how many years now? We're going on year 7 with double night manias or double night main events.
Yeah. It's I think it absolutely can be at the top tier of WrestleMania main events. For sure.
Yeah. Now I'm going to dive into mine here. Now, obviously, I'd be lying to you if I said I didn't consider even the WrestleMania 36 cinematic main event presentations. They were, but I just felt like they were on such a level of their own, but the stories in those were amazing. They're iconic. They're epic, particularly with Bray Wyatt not being here anymore. The way that you can look back at that, and in hindsight, it's like a celebration of the life and career of a Bray Wyatt. And the creativity of a Bray Wyatt. I considered putting those somewhere on this list. Obviously, they're not. I went with true wrestling matches in this. I based everything off of story and in-ring execution. I don't need a 5-star match for my list. If you hit an amazing ending or told a great story in a match, you're in. It's on my list. So my list goes number 15. I have Rollins, Reigns, and Punk at 41. Night 1. Thought the match was great. The story with the battle over Paul Heyman, and then Heyman screwing over the two guys that he had as, basically has hitched himself, minus obviously Brock Lesnar, to in WWE lore. I just thought it was a great story. And I thought that I will tell you, when I have the double main event nights, night 1 is overwhelming on my list. I don't even know if I have any night 2 main events on here except for one. So my number 14 is the first tag team championship match to ever main event WrestleMania. I have KO and Sammy versus the Usos at WrestleMania 39. At 13, I have Benoit, HBK, Triple H, WrestleMania 20. We discussed it, obvious reasons. That could have potentially been a 5 for me. It doesn't have watchability for me in the way that it did. I'm not saying I'll never watch the match again, but it's sad to say real life situations end up making that kind of a forgotten moment. Number 12, I have Hogan and Warrior. 6, I think it was great for the time. Great story. Warrior's best match. I think it's kind of overrated. I'm not going to lie. But as a kid, it was one of my favorite things, right? So I have it at 12. At 11, I have Charlotte, Becky, and Ronda. Again, this is one more so for the story and the meaning that it had. The match was good. The ending was not. I think it takes away from it. So actually at 10, I have Bianca and Sasha from 37. This is the birth of Bianca. That match may have been the best match of WrestleMania 37 either night. I thought This was the emergence of Bianca. Sasha absolutely made her look like $1,000,000. I think it's one of Mercedes' best performances in any company. And I felt like that was monumental for two African-American females to main event WrestleMania. It was a big moment. And I really enjoyed that match. Has a lot of watchability for me. So that's my 10. At 9, I have Lesnar and Angle. You have the student and the teacher. You have Brock Lesnar, who's emerging as the next big thing, against a guy who was his idol in shoot wrestling, in collegiate wrestling, a guy who dominated before Brock got there. And then Brock was the next big thing in actual collegiate wrestling. And then to translate that on that stage at WrestleMania 19, which is one of the best WrestleManias of all time, I thought they did a tremendous job. On a night where you had Hogan and Vince, I thought they stood out on their own.
Question for you. That shooting star press, does that impact, would it been higher on your list, or does it really?
No, he finished the match.
Yeah.
That didn't affect high or low where it went. To me,
it was an excellent match.
It's a scary moment for him, but it's a moment where it was executed. They got to the ending. The match was done. The story I thought was great going in. They didn't try to overcomplicate that story. It was literally
I'm sorry. What if he hit it? What if
it didn't really affect it for me. You know what I mean? Again, I think to me, there's a lot worse things that happen in a lot of these other matches that guys didn't get clean or hit. So, one minute thing in what I thought was an incredibly uncomplicated, easy to understand, and well executed story. And it was a big moment for Brock, which we see what he is today. At 8, I have Rock and Austin 15. Clearly, this is where we're getting the matchup we've wanted to see for the first time. It was monumental. It was special. It needed to happen. I do not have 17 on my list. Maybe it's the bias of the follow through after. I don't even remember if I truly loved the story going into that so as much. I think that was surrounded by a lot of the WCW crap that was going on. And to me, 15 was better. It was a special time. That was the peak of the Attitude Era. Like, I look at that with 17, and I don't even really, honestly, I think of it because we talk about it, but if someone was to say to me, first thing you think of from WrestleMania 17, it's always going to be Edge, Hardys, and Dudleys.
See, I that's part of it, but see, that's why mine's number 1.
Yeah. No,
that's 100% what I think of. Keep going.
Yeah. 7, I've Austin and HBK. Austin 316 really kicks off here at 14. 6, I have Undertaker and HBK at 26. I wrestled with this one. Should I go higher? I thought it was
your 1.
No, it's a beautiful match. It is. It wasn't as good as the one from the year before. Not to say it wasn't great. It was great.
I agree with you on that.
And because of that, I can't make that number 1 when I just watched these guys have maybe the greatest wrestling match I ever saw the year before. So it's still high up. It's at 6. My number 5, I have Shawn and Brett, WrestleMania 12. The Iron Man match. This is the big moment for these guys. That's right. Brett made the list. This was just such an important moment in the industry, and for Shawn Michaels, and the boyhood dream. It's iconic. We still hear that call religiously. So yeah, I had to put that in the top 5. Number 4, I have Reigns and Lesnar 31. Obviously, the heist of the century. I can make the argument at WrestleMania 31. is a top 1, 2, or 3 WrestleMania of all time. Number 3, I have Bryan, Orton, and Batista at WrestleMania 30 for obvious reasons. Yeselmania. 2, Hogan and Andre. It's the most iconic main event of all time. It's a monumental. It's pop cultural. Hogan slams Andre. It's not a catch as catch can type of match, but for the magnitude alone, the story going into and the magnitude of the moments that did happen in that visual of Hogan and Andre, Hogan walking up to Andre and Andre just stoic. It's iconic. I have Cody and Roman 40 as the number 1 main event. I do. I think the story was perfect from start to finish. Coming out of 39, we were so upset that he didn't win that match. And we almost didn't get it the following year. But the way and the path after the fact that we got all the way to WrestleMania 40 and how that extra year in hindsight of the chase, I think made Cody Rhodes. I think he would have been great coming out of 39. But I just felt that story at WrestleMania 40, the execution of everything, pulling all the partners into it, the different pieces of those who were affected by the bloodline over time, it was tying a 4-year run and story for Roman and then Cody's entire WWE start to then into a beautiful package. I don't know that when you're doing story and execution, there has been a better story better than WrestleMania 40. And yes, I do believe that this could move in. I'm going to agree to the poll. For a lot of the reasons why this is a story, this is my number 1. They already set the tone. We're going to go back to 10 years on Colt Cabana's podcasts. We're going to go back to War Games. We're going to go back to WrestleMania last year. And, 2 or 3 years ago when you came back and that time you took away when you went to the other company, they're diving right in head first on all of the baggage on both ends. And I think it's tremendous. That is what makes a WrestleMania main event feel epic and special. That's something that can carry us for 2.5 months till we get to WrestleMania, or 3 months till we get to WrestleMania. So if I was to slip it in somewhere, I could put it behind Rock Austin 15 and before Lesnar and Angle 19. So that would be 9 on my list. If it lives up to it, if the match quality doesn't have to be perfect, but if they tell an incredible story going into it and give me a very, very, very good, non-disappointing matchup with the story, I could slip that into 9 easily.
Yeah, I don't disagree with much on your list except for the Austin Rock stuff, but I understand why. But we definitely had a lot of similarities on our list as well.
Yeah, I mean, some things are kind of all over in different places.
Yeah.
Ooh, our chat was flying.
Ah, nice.
Yeah.
What do we got?
Let's pop them up, catch them up. Rue jumping in here. Only February 10th, and the heat is off the charts. Nearly 2 more months to build Punk and Roman. I think it'll no doubt be an all-timer on heat alone. It's going to be good. Agree with you on that, Rue.
Yeah, I just hope that both guys are ready for the match physically. And if this match would have been a few years ago, there'd be no doubt in my mind that this would be a top 10 match. I just hope that both guys are physically ready. I mean, we've seen Punk. He's wrestled some very good matches in the last few months. And I think they've done a very nice job of protecting him, getting him ring time, but also protecting him. They're not using it. He's not wrestling every week. They've done a nice job protecting him. So hopefully he goes in healthy, just like he is now, and we get a classic. I'm all for it. Like I said last week, I love the matchup, and it tells a great story, and I'm excited to see what's next.
Yeah, I don't know that Punk ever truly got his footing under him in AEW. You know, there were matches that were good. I thought at Wembley, one of his best matches was like Samoa Joe. There were some really good matches and moments, but I don't know. And I think even coming back here, it took a bit. I think he's taken off since that feud with Drew McIntyre. I think we've seen a different Punk. And, the one thing that, myself and, our old buddy Nick, we've been saying this for years. And I've said it on this show for the last 8 years. When people would comment in and dump on Roman, tell me a bad main event or tell me a bad pay-per-view match that Roman's had. Never. I'm not saying all television things were great. We had dog cans and everything, dog food and everything else. But I'm even going back to like the Shield. Now, tell me a bad main event that Roman Reigns has had. There's never been one. He just puts on great matches. And particularly with guys that he could tell stories with. I mean, my expectations are high for this, and I think that as yours are too. It's justified for us to feel that way. Dynasty saying Boneyard low key top 10. I love the Boneyard match. Greg chiming in. What's up, Greg? He says, dudes, agree to the poll. I don't know if it becomes a top 10, but absolutely has potential.
Yeah, absolutely. What's up, Brad?
Brad, appreciate you coming back. Brad drops some things. Brad says, your thoughts on Punk versus Finn Balor elimination?
Oh, please let me go. Please let me go.
Let's get through the comments. We're going to get into that because we're going to be talking about Elimination Chamber a little bit at the end. Are you off next week? You're not here next week, right?
I'm here next week. It's
the following week. That's right. Okay. Yeah, we're going to get into that. We will. I don't know if we'll dive too much into that one, Brad, until maybe next week. But we'll talk about Punk and Finn in a few minutes. Benoit Angle at 17 was great. Yes, it was.
17's my probably the best WrestleMania, but not my favorite to watch.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's an argument for greatest of all time. I put that in there. I really think that 31, if you watch 31 beginning to end, 31's up there. It's in the conversation. I think 19 is one of the greatest.
Very underrated.
It's just not talked about enough. I don't know if it's because it was close to 17 or what. It's so good.
It is I had read that one. So there's only a handful of Royal Rumbles that made more on pay-per-view than WrestleMania, and that year is one of them. And I always found that very hard to believe because I was away during that time. I was deployed, so I didn't see WrestleMania until I came back, and I thought I got it on DVD when I came back, and I wore the crap out of that DVD because I loved it. I thought it was incredible.
Oh, so good. Michael Hayes says, why hasn't WWE bought Jericho's contract? Apparently is not up with AEW. I don't know if there was injury time. I know he had some physical issues. There's your answer, Michael. There was a report like right after the Rumble that apparently his contract is not technically up. So we'll see if they even bring him back. I mean, at this point, we don't really know for sure. Rosca says he thinks 17 was the greatest of all time. Pat Canning, is Vision falling apart due to injuries, or do they need to change the Vision's plan to keep them together? We're going to dive into that one in momentarily, too, because we're going to talk about the Masked Man. Since we're on the conversation of Punk real quick. Good, Eric. You want to answer to this one? You want to jump in here? You give your thoughts?
Why the hell are we having this match? Why? You already announced the main event for WrestleMania. I understand you have to
they do that all
finish
the time,
this feud, but why are we doing this again? The match is going to be great, but we just saw this match. Do we really think Finn Balor's winning the title? No. Chrome, speaking of that, I want to talk about an anecdotes with Arch I want to do this week about that involves Finn Balor that I thought the direction should have went with him that would make a lot of sense for WrestleMania. don't have time to dive into it, but I think it's a good way to could have used Finn Balor a little differently.
We'll
And
drop,
also
yeah,
continue-
drop. We'll drop that this week. Give us some anecdotes. We'll drop it. Listen, I don't. The only thing that matters on this card is the chamber. I'm going to be honest. So, like, again, where I'm picking and choosing my battles where I get upset. You want to give me a cool wrestling match, and I'm going to enjoy watching, the chemistry between the guys. Fine. I think this is going to be a part of the storyline for the breakup between Finn and the Judgment Day. So, it's part of his character. Again, they went the angle that CM Punk's going to give him a title match to get his hands on him. We watch AEW and everybody else do the same thing all the time.
Can't stand that crap.
If that's what they're going to, but if that's what, it's not a new storyline. They do it all, you know what I mean? So, Finn manipulates him. Finn gets what he wants. We watch Drew McIntyre do the same thing for 6 months.
I know.
You know what I mean? So I'm not going to get up in arms. At this point, we just got to bridge the gap to Mania. So I'm fine with it. Everybody knows the Chamber's most. If they were doing this for a WrestleMania or a SummerSlam main event, I might be with you a little bit more, but I don't really care for Chamber. To me, it's like a glorified Saturday night's main event. You want to give me if Punk wants a grudge match? Cool. Sounds good to me.
I know why they're doing a Punk match because of where it's located. I get that. Like that makes sense.
Right.
I just think, and I talked about it a few weeks ago, where I didn't think Finn Balor should even be getting a title match. I think I'm more wrapped up, like you said, in wins and losses, and wins and losses matter. When I don't see somebody winning on a regular basis and then they're thrown into a title picture, it just doesn't make sense to me, and it drives me crazy, and it'll drive me crazy till the end of time.
Mm-hmm.
It's just my fandom coming out and saying I'd rather see him get a couple wins, and that's where on my anecdotes with Arch, it would absolutely have gotten him some wins and gotten him a premier WrestleMania match. But I'm not the booker. I'm just a fan, and we can move on.
Speaking of which, do you go? No, I did not go to the Chamber before COVID. The last event I went to, I think, was it Extreme Rules when Corbin and Lacey Evans
Rock cashed in.
Yeah, that's the last live event I went to before COVID.
Yeah,
we had great seats too. We were like second or third row.
Nice.
And then Velasco hooked us up with Rome. Mike Rome, ring announcer now for NXT, who I've gotten to know a little bit since then. He hooked us up, and we got to go to after the pay-per-view, go to ringside, take pictures in front of the announce desk and stuff. And next to the ring. It was pretty cool.
Awesome.
Yeah. I'm gonna try to jump out. All right. So we were actually, our next topic was the Vision in terms of last comment here. Crazy that, in my opinion, two of the top 5 worst ever were Philly Chamber in 2020 and King of the Ring 95.
You didn't like King of the Ring 95? You didn't like King Mabel?
Breakman says can't really judge if it's top 10. So we could definitely revisit, but we're doing more breaks of a in hindsight or in anticipation. Jesus, I can't talk today. Anticipation of what is its potential? It could be. Could be. I think this is what the question was, right? Let's check out my math.
Yep.
Has the potential. So we didn't say it is. We said could be. But getting back into the comments here, Pat Canning asks about wait. Not only Savio.
Oh gosh, yeah.
Times. Yo, don't talk about Big Daddy V Vis. I love me some Vis. Pat chimes in. This is our next topic here. So big news, Bron Breakker. It sounds like he's going to be out longer than we thought. Sounds like he's done for Mania season. So maybe this is an explanation as did they say this had an effect on why they executed Rumble the way that it did? Or did he get hurt after that?
I think they said that he got hurt flipping the table after Rumble.
Okay.
But I could be wrong. But Yeah, it's devastating. But
Well, like Heyman, I mean, and again, it could be storyline. Heyman said he was working out, right? And he overexerted himself. So I don't know for sure. I mean, I watched him flip the table. I didn't see nothing. I don't know if that's true or not. I could be a fan I don't know who reported that. Was that Meltzer?
I don't even remember.
Oh yeah,
Be something to say, but
either way, it's a devastating injury for WWE.
Yeah.
It's a devastating, like this whole Vision storyline just seems to be snake bitten because Seth gets hurt. They have to move up the breakup of kicking him out. Now you just came out of this incredible storyline with Braun, has a great main event with Punk. And now here's where we are, where he's hurt and he's going to probably miss WrestleMania. What are your thoughts on this? You know, is it falling apart because of the injuries, or do you think that we shift the focus here again?
Well, I think the whole concept of this masked person is it's supposed to be Seth Rollins, right? But we know that Seth is injured. So it's kind of like, who else could it be? And we talked about it last week, and there's more speculation of other guys this week. So I think that's what WWE wanted at the end, regardless of the injury, even before injury. That was kind of the play that they wanted you to think it was somebody else besides Seth Rollins. So was it a Vision member? Now, this past week, all the Vision members were out there, and it was somebody. So is it a group? Is it an individual? And I think that's where the guessing game is coming into play. And I think that's great that you can continue moving that storyline forward with the other guys in the Vision. I mean, I don't know about you, but Bronson Reed has kind of been lost in the shuffle since he beat Roman Reigns. Was that SummerSlam? Or was it was somewhere in the summer. Or in the fall. He beat Roman Reigns, he pinned him, and hasn't done anything since. And Bron Breakker's been the one that has gotten all of the momentum. He got the win at War Games. He became the number one contender, and now we are sitting here, and now there is no Bron Breakker. So who do you go to next? I think you have to go to Bronson Reed now, if it's a legitimate injury, and you could do Bronson Reed versus Seth Rollins if that's where they wanted to go. But I think what's good about not knowing who this mask guy is you can push it back. You could kind of just continue this game, and you've got several weeks to get to that point. If Braun gets better and they're just playing it as a story, then you have an opportunity to bring him back as a surprise and still get that WrestleMania match in. So I think everything you're hearing now is probably more speculation and rumor than anything. We really are probably never really going to know how long they're expecting Braun to be back. And if they think he's going to be out post WrestleMania, then I'm sure they're working on a backup plan. But I also think, thank you, Dynasty, at WrestlePalooza. Yeah, Bronson got the pin on him. So it's like, he hasn't really done anything since. So, and I don't think they're going to save it for another faction. They're already deep in this. It's probably a little too late to do that. You're going to have to salvage what you have right now.
Well, you have the benefit of it's a stacked deck, right? Yeah. I mean, you could go to Logan Paul if you wanted to.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, maybe the only one that would be questionable would be Theory, but if you wanted to go to Bronson Reed or you wanted to go to Logan Paul, there's every reason. The track record's there because Logan Paul has not main evented, but he has been in featured top matches at WrestleMania against the likes of AJ Styles. And did he face Seth Rollins at WrestleMania?
39. Yeah.
There you go. So
yeah,
he's had these amazing matches. And on the flip side, Bronson Reed took out the guy who literally held the company in the palm of his hands for 4 years. Yep. That nobody's been able to dominate the same way that he has.
And their story with him and Seth, he took Seth out a few years back. So there's still
backgrounds there for both of them.
Background there, absolutely. You could go to that easily. But what's great about not knowing who the mask guy is they could continue that as long as they want.
So Dynasty, that may have been me last week or whatever the first week that masked person came out was saying, oh, I wonder if it's Balor. I thought because of coming out of the Rumble and not getting a spot, it could have been Balor, but I don't think it's Balor now at all. I think it's definitely somebody who's got a hard on for the Vision to take him down. And again, to Eric's point, you can do this. It's a masked person. So somebody in the same structural body figure of Seth Rollins could do all of his moves and mannerisms and buy you time until Seth's ready to come back.
I love the people that zoom in on the pictures like, oh, it's definitely this guy. It's definitely that guy. Like, stop. It could be that guy this week, and the next week it's going to be somebody else. Like,
well,
stop.
we saw that before where they used both Montez Ford and they used Austin Theory. So
I heard Grayson Waller this week. Like, it's not Grayson Waller, guys.
no, he's definitely not built like that. I do look at their physical build though to see if they make sense for what people say. And 100%, this guy, I don't see this being Grayson Waller. It's Murphy.
Yeah, I've heard that one too.
Too tall for Murphy.
John Moxley. It's John Moxley. He's a contracted AEW super wrestler. It's got to be him. The Shield is reuniting.
I would love that, by the way, but no.
Oh well, yeah.
Yeah, no, it's definitely not Murphy because he's not tall enough. Murphy is not a very tall man. Obviously he's still under contract now. Yeah, we know. We're just we're goofing with that. But yeah, this kind of actually, I guess, kind of ties both stories in. Listen, I think the Bron Breakker injury is devastating, but it is what it is. You have to move on. You have to pivot, much like we've had to before. I think when we question the pivot out of the Vision storyline because of the Seth injury, they've done a great job at, disproving our concerns, right? So I think that this is another case in which we're going to have to see the same thing here. And I think that they can. You touched on a lot of it. There are seeds planted for both Logan Paul and Bronson Reed. I think it should be Bronson Reed. I think we agree on that. But if you went Logan Paul, I'm not getting up in arms over it. The original Masked Man. I love that. Great reference, Dynasty. I love it.
That's awesome.
I'll never forget Clash of the Champions, right? Wasn't that?
Yeah. Who is this man? Who is? Oh my goodness!
That's Brother Brutus.
Good old '94 WCW at its finest.
I should find that Clash of the Champions and put that on. I do miss those. The Clash of the Champions.
Yeah. They were great.
Oh my god!
I didn't have to pay for them. I could just watch them on TV.
Yeah, it was like a free pay-per-view, basically. Yeah. But yeah, so we'll see what happens. Speculation-wise, I don't know who it is. I think it's ultimately going to be Seth Rollins, who it ends up being. Maybe it is Waller who's doing like the part under the mask. I have to say though, between all the times with the freaking bloodline, and now we're doing it here, I don't need another masked person for a long time.
No.
I'm done with it. I'm over it.
Yeah, it's been played. It's been that they need to put that in the trash and don't take it out for a long time.
Oh, that's right. Havoc 94 was the reveal, but the Clash was the kickoff of the storyline.
Good call. Yep.
All right. Nice. I think our next topic is what? Okay, so we're at Elimination Chamber now. Your thoughts on, I think what we have LA Knight and who's
LA Knight qualified, and there's other qualifying matches next week, and then there's some this week. So this week,
is LA Knight the only qualified man?
I think so.
Really? I thought there was two. I mean, you're probably right. I will be honest. Aside from Cody Raheem Rhodes on SmackDown, I thought SmackDown was I really couldn't remember what happened on SmackDown this week, and I tried so. And I didn't watch it till yesterday, and I still can't remember what happened on SmackDown. It's how uneventful it was for me.
Yeah, and Cody talking about Roman and Punk talking about him. They didn't mention him at all.
Nope.
So it's like, what are you talking about? And our buddy Nick was saying he went into business for himself, but isn't WWE scripting their promos now? So I don't think he's going into business for himself. Maybe somebody wrote it for him or something. I don't know.
Yeah. Randy Orton.
Very weird.
Randy Orton did qualify. I knew there was another qualifier.
That's right. Yeah. So Orton and Knight, and then this week SmackDown's got a triple threat with Cody, Jacob, and somebody else, and then
Sami Zayn. Interesting. I definitely think Sami Zayn comes out of this match. I'm definitely now, because I think that you have Cody and Jacob cost each other. The fact that they put them in this match to me is a dead giveaway of who's going to win this. I think we might get that Sami Zayn moment at WrestleMania 42. I can't remember what the hell I'm at. WrestleMania 42. Like, I think we might get that Sami Zayn moment. But again, I don't know that I care as much now because of what you did at Royal Rumble.
I don't think we're getting it at all.
No?
Yeah. I think Drew cost Cody again this match. I think it continues that.
Well, I'm saying Sammy.
I know, but I'm saying he's going to cost Cody, but I think Jacob's going to win the match.
Really?
Yep. Not Chamber, the qualifying match.
Right. I feel like if Cody or Jacob win, then they have to win the Chamber.
I feel like with Cody, I mean, it does make sense, I guess, but I think Cody, I think it's going to be continuing to get screwed over. He cost them the Royal Rumble. Now he's going to cost them the qualify. I think it's just continuing the uphill battle to get back to WrestleMania for Cody. And I think it could be at the sacrifice of having Jacob win or maybe Cody gets distracted and either Jacob and Sammy fight it out, whoever wins takes the pin. But I don't see either one of them taking a pin either. That's the thing. Like, one of them's got to pin Sammy, I would think. I just don't see either of them taking a loss either. That's why that's my mindset of Jacob winning and pinning Sammy.
Well, listen, I mean, Cody could hit him with the Crossroads pop up. All of a sudden, you get the Claymore, takes Cody out. Sammy then ends up jumping on the pin, or you get like a stunned Jacob. He's in the corner. He hits him with the haluva kick, and there's a way to do it. I feel like if Jacob or Cody moves on, they have to win the Chamber then, because if you're talking that's the story we're going with, then we have to have a triple threat at WrestleMania.
I'd be all for Jacob winning that Elimination Chamber. Another one. So, did you see the qualifying match on Raw next week? It's Gunther's in it.
I didn't see that one. What's that match?
It's Gunther, Javon Evans, and who's the third guy? Gunther is in a qualifying match.
Trying to pull it up now.
Dominic Mysterio.
Oh, right. I did see Dominic talk about that. Yeah.
So that one, I mean, that's another one. Like, if Gunther is going to win that match and he's in the Chamber, doesn't he have to win too?
Well, no, because nobody's career's on the line.
That's true. That's a good point.
That's when he wins, when it's a career on the line. Now, listen, I think Sami Zayn comes out of this.
Okay.
I definitely think that Gunther wins next week's match.
Okay.
I'm curious to see. I'm not gonna dive into it now. Where they go with Gunther now, because we don't necessarily have anybody who's on the cusp of retiring that closely right now. So this is the only downside to this character.
Yeah.
is where do you go from here when there's nobody at the tail end at this particular moment? Maybe it ends up being Brock. Who knows? What SummerSlam is what, Minnesota?
I think so.
That's probably where you'll get
Brock
Gunther.
here.
That's probably where you'll get Gunther and Brock. But yeah, we'll see. That's my 2 picks. I'm going Gunther and Sammy. You got Jacob. Wouldn't surprise you. I mean, I think we both agree. I'd be shocked if Cody Rhodes came out of this match.
Yeah. Jacob and Gunther probably. And then the women. Has anybody on the women's qualified yet? Yeah.
Rhea Ripley qualified this
Rhea,
week.
Rhea. I see people complaining about her being in the chamber and she's a tag team champion. She's only the top woman on the roster.
Oh, well, I mean that's just stupid.
Like,
I am very unhappy that Tiffany Stratton is in this chamber.
Oh, you knew she was going to be in it.
At the expense of Lash Legend
And Chelsea Green. Yeah.
and Chelsea freaking Green. What are we doing?
I wonder if they're going to do like a redemption, like to get that last spot where they.
I hope. There is no difference to her character, by the way.
No.
It is the same thing.
Yep.
So why has she been out for all this time? Why do I care? We didn't bring her back as a heel. I would have been all in. You brought her back as a heel.
Yep.
And guess what? Fumbling through some spots again this week, so the in-ring didn't get so much greater. I don't want to hear no bullshit about Tiffy time. I don't care about Tiffy time right now. You had
Chelsea.
Chelsea time. It's Chelsea time, and it's Lash Legends time right now. I think Lash is awesome. I mean, listen, as much as I love Chelsea, I think it should have been Lash. I would love to see Lash as a dominant figure in that chamber.
Oh, yeah.
And we go right back to the well. Right back to the well. I don't get it. The love affair. That that they feel like this is like what we need, what we want. The reaction's not the same. Reaction hasn't looked the same for her.
I'd love to be a spot on that wall hearing those conversations.
Well, yeah, I'm sure we'll see it on Unreal at some point.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be Legend Killer versus Career Killer. Yeah, I'm fine with that as long as it's not like Orton's career is on the line thing. I get that. I
think we got to get Orton Cody in the ring first before we get there. Hopefully.
Yeah, all this bullshit with Jacob Fatu and Drew. I would rather have Cody and Orton at Mania. You don't need anything on the line for that.
Like, I don't know what they're waiting for.
Me neither.
Orton's not getting any younger, and it's a match clearly people want to see. You know what it probably is. They're afraid at WrestleMania that Cody's going to get booed out of the building again because they will cheer Randy. They're always going to cheer Randy now. He's at that point in his career. He's getting cheered no matter what. No matter what he does, he's not getting booed in this point of his career. So I think it could be a matter of, well, we want to make sure that Cody's protected. So we don't want to. We saw what happened last year. Like, who cares? He can survive. He's resilient. Like, put the match in the ring and see what happens. Because again, Randy's not getting any younger. We got to get this match in the ring. We don't want to run into a situation where we don't get a match, kind of like we didn't get Rock and Roman. And now, will we ever get that? Now it's, they better not make the same mistake again.
Yeah, it's terrible. So we'll see what happens. Anything for the cause, Eric, before we hop off here, buddy?
Nah, this was a good show. Good topic. WrestleMania is always good. We're going to be talking a lot more about WrestleMania. We got plenty of time.
Mm-hmm.
So, no, this was great, and looking forward to see what the next few weeks. See what happens.
Yeah, we're gonna ramp up our Mania coverage, obviously, as we get closer. Obviously, we want to get through Elimination Chamber first. Next week we will have our show. Following week, we're not sure. I might take the week down. Eric's going to be away, so I think I might. I'm either. I'll make a decision by next week. I might take. Although is that going into or coming back from Chamber?
That's coming. That's going into the Chamber is on the. It's that Saturday. It's the 28th.
I guess we'll see what the programming looks like over the next week, and that'll help my decision on what I'm going to do.
Yeah, we will keep you all posted, everybody. But
Yeah, well,
it's going to be I'm interested to see who else qualifies for the Chamber, and then I'm guessing it's going to be the 2 Chamber matches. It'll be Punk and Finn, and maybe one more match. Maybe we get AJ Becky, and then we get it again at WrestleMania. We'll see.
why are we doing that match now?
They waited too long.
They waited. I mean, at this point, you waited so long. Yeah, because it has to be in Chicago. That's what.
Yeah. I think that's definitely a possibility. If you're going to do it, you do it at Chamber. You have AJ go over, win the title, and then they have the rematch at Mania.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, Dynasty. I mean, we're not going to do a show where neither of us are on it. You know what I mean? But we'll see. If I decide to do it, I'll pull one of them boys on. See, Pat, with this. Yes, to the first part. I disagree with Lyra. She hasn't been perfect always, but she is a tremendous talent. She has had some extremely high quality matches. If you go back to her NXT time too, her level of in-ring performance is exceptional.
And she's young.
She's very young. She's not been in the business for all that long. And I think part of it is sometimes it's who you're in there with. But I'm very big on Lyra. I actually think they have really fumbled Lyra. I thought Eric, I thought to myself this week, maybe they should turn her heel, but I don't know if she would be believable to be a heel.
No. I think a brand change could help maybe after WrestleMania. I think they need to take her away from, like, her and Bayley need to separate. And it's not a knock on Bayley. I just think where Bayley is in her career with WWE, only so far is where Lyra is going to go with having Bayley together. They're not going to win the tag titles. They're not.
No, like, what's the end game here?
Exactly. So is it a Bayley heel turn, which we thought we were getting months ago, and then they have these awesome vignettes with Bayley, and it turned into really a split personality babyface, which I'd rather have the split personality heel, to be honest with you. And then you could feud with Lyra and have Lyra go over and build her to where she can continue to excel. I think it kind of stopped when the affiliation with Bayley and the confusion there, like, is she my friend? Is she not? I'm done with her. And then all of a sudden we're good again. Just like, I think that really didn't help either.
No, it's not good. It's
not her fault.
Bottom line is it had potential, but if you were never going to put them on the titles on them and really not even really keep them in the hunt for the titles, there's no point. And they made like Bayley like a weird character. I don't know. Yeah, Dynasty. No, yeah. I mean, obviously, if I'm going to do a show, I'm going to put one of them on there.
I'm doing one on the cruise. It's settled. No.
Yeah.
Right. My guest host will
Lucky
be
man.
Mickey Mouse.
Yeah, lucky man. Pull Mickey on, get a cameo. But yeah, if I do a show, obviously I'll pull one of them boys on here. I'll pull somebody else on here. But yeah, anyway, good show. I think I'm ready to wrap it up. Not much going on this week, so we took a different spin on things and figured we'll throw a little bit of a history conversation in there and tie it to current. So, and I'm glad we did that.
Yeah,
because
that was fun, and appreciate the participation. Appreciate all the chat. It's always always more fun when we get more activity. So thank you to our regulars and some of our new people. I love it. It's great.
Appreciate the chiming in. Appreciate you guys joining us again as always. Appreciate our doctor, Dr. Paul Vidal, over at Specialized Physical Therapy. You can check him out on the web, specializedphysicaltherapy.com. Make sure you guys follow us and A2D Radio. Follow our Instagram handles here. Also on Facebook, on the tube. For us on the tube, if you want to check us out. Like, subscribe, follow our YouTube page, Lazy Booking Pod TV. I should say channel. I guess I should edit that. Our YouTube channel. And yeah, that's about it. So keep an eye out. Arch's going to drop another little anecdotes with Arch for Finn this week. Ooh. What did I say? It was like a stat or something. Like they were making like a joke, but they were like, fun fact, Razor Ramon has competed in a Royal Rumble, but Scott Hall has never competed in a Royal Rumble.
Yeah. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
He was always in that IC title picture. Or he 93 fought for the world title.
But you had the imposter Razor that technically competed in the Royal Rumble. So Razor Ramon, that was what they were referencing. They were like, fun fact, Razor Ramon has competed in one Royal Rumble. However, Scott Hall has never competed in a Royal Rumble.
So funny.
Anyway, ended on that little fun fact. Thank you guys, Dynasty, Pat Canning, Raska, Don, Brankman, Brian, everybody who commented, Greg. Appreciate you guys.
Hi, guys.
Brad. Just try and make sure I try not to forget anybody on the way. Divine. Appreciate you guys. Come back next week, same time. We'll get we'll get caught up on everything that goes on as we continue the road to the Elimination Chamber and obviously the road to WrestleMania. So for myself, for Eric, everybody here at A2D Radio, we love you guys. We wish you guys the best. As Andy always says, tell someone you love them. We out.
We're out.